Tim, do you think Andrew Berry is done in free agency yet? What positions do you think he addresses? And at those positions, who do you like?
I'd be surprised if he was done. We know how active he can be, and we saw him really only make those two big moves, bringing in Dalvin Tomlinson, bringing in Obo Okoronkwo as an edge rusher. Okoronkwo, I think, could certainly be a starter. He obviously played his best when he was a starter. Tomlinson, for sure, is a starter, probably your number one defensive tackle. I think it would be smart for the Browns to kind of continue to address the defensive line, maybe bring in another veteran defensive tackle. I mentioned Poona Ford. I mentioned Ashawn Robinson. Either one of those guys, I think, would be great fits there. And the one position that they really haven't addressed, because we really haven't seen many of these guys go off the board, is wide receiver. I mean, the biggest name at receiver we've seen get signed is Juju Smith-Schuster going to the Patriots, 3 years, $33 million. So plenty of guys still available. I don't know if they'd be able to afford guys like DJ Chark or Mecole Hardman, who I think fit the speed ingredient that's missing a receiver for the Browns. Maybe if one of them takes less money to come to Cleveland, I think it'd be an amazing fit alongside Deshaun Watson and get a field stretcher that he didn't have last season, and it's clear he kind of needs in this offense. They want to trade for one. Brandon Cooks has been a name that everybody's talked about before. I know Mary Kay Cabot wrote a column about why the Browns should try to trade for Elijah Moore, and I couldn't agree with her more. You remember way back to the 2021 draft, I thought, in my final mock draft, I had the Browns taking Elijah Moore all the way up at pick number 26. They took Greg Newsome at 26. That obviously worked out, I'd say, pretty well for the Browns, getting a very good young corner in Newsome. Moore has had some moments in New York, but, didn't quite put up the numbers you would expect. Obviously, playing with Zach Wilson, there's some explanation there, because Wilson, I think, is clearly not lived up to the hype of being the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. Maybe if he stays in New York, he build better numbers with Aaron Rodgers once the Jets get him. But I think Moore will be a tremendous fit in this Browns offense if we're able to get him. It's just a question of whether the Jets would make him available. And then in that case, if the Browns wanted to pull the trigger on that sort of deal. But I think Elijah Moore in Cleveland would be an absolute perfect fit.
Yeah, I would agree with you wholeheartedly. If there's a way to get Elijah Moore, it works. The Jets, there were games where he was inactive, and there were games where he wasn't targeted, quite a few of them. So they did not utilize him. We'll see how that plays out.